Hi.
Hi. So, Alden, thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate it. I'm a huge crystal lover, and I totally believe in the energy that the crystal gives to each one of us. Specifically, talking about the topic of anxiety, panic attacks, and that realm that is the one that, I help people with. I think it's very important to have, that extra tools in the toolbox that we can have access to whenever, we want to soothe, calm down, and just deal with different issues that anxiety might present to us in our everyday lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. And what drew you to crystals in the first place?
Honestly, like I think the energy, the overall energy, like for me, like I'm a huge fan of Amethyst, and I was showing you my bracelet. And it's, every time that I'm wearing it, there is something about it that it soothes my anxiety. It soothes just that the fear that could be around. So it's something that I find it very calming. And also, I think that they have an incredible energy according to each one of our needs that we can relate to different crystals.
110%.
Yeah.
And amazing about crystals is, like, especially for a clear quartz, their crystalline structure is literally set up so that each one helps have different properties and can do different things for you and align frequency with your body. And I personally work with the chakras a lot, which I know you like as well, and they're energy centers in your body, and each one resonates at a different frequency. I like to think of it as notes on a scale. And so this clear quartz resonates with the chakra at the top of your head, the crown chakra. And if your crown chakra is off balance, because we're only human, we're mostly water, it's easy to get knocked out of whack. You put clear quartz crystal, and you can have it anywhere on your body or near you. Put it on your head, and it literally is like retuning a piano. It just realigns your vibration to the frequency that it's meant to be, and it really helps folks feel better. It's worked for me personally. I've seen it work for dozens upon dozens of my clients, because I have my own crystal healing and Reiki healing business as well. So I just love. Ingrid and I had a lovely chat to talk about what we were going to do in the live, and I really loved how you talked about how you help clients start new beginnings and starting a new cycle and really breaking free from those negative cycles that hold us back.
Exactly.
And like learning resilience and how to break through those blockages. So the first crystal recommendation I have for today is called Lepidolite. It's Lepidolite, and it is known as the stone of transition because it can help you transition from one part of your life to another part of your life. And goes with the third eye chakra, which I know you also do cognitive behavioral therapy, which I think is fantastic. And I'd love to hear you talk about that more.
I think that there needs to be a shift in mindset when it comes to anxiety and leaving fears behind and getting past through your fears and limitations. There has to be that change in mindset. So basically with CBT, what we're trying to do is just rewire that mindset and just think about that thoughts can influence our behavior, and vice versa. Our behavior can affect our thoughts. So basically what we want is create that shift in mindset so that creates a change in behavior, and at the same time those behaviors are gonna create a shift in our thoughts as well. So it's exactly. So it's very important that to focus, to create awareness around the thoughts and to be able to rewire our brain differently so we can start having more awareness and choose a different path each day, with our actions, instead of going right, go left, or instead of going left, go right, but just create that shift in direction with our thoughts.
Exactly. Like for me, historically, that would be choosing to do yoga instead of do a really aggressive HIIT workout, because I'm not going to like start beating my body up with exercise, but instead I'm going to support my body with exercise.
Exactly.
So that's a negative cycle that I've worked. And Lepidolite really helps with transitioning into new parts of your life, like up leveling, and it goes with the third eye. So cognitive behavioral therapy is all about the brain. The third eye is in the brain, and it's help you see the cycles that you have that you need to break through. And so recognizing those psychological blocks that you have is the first step to breaking through them. So that's what Lepidolite can help you do. So helps break through old behavioral patterns. Like, this is a great stone if you need to smoking, if you are consistently having panic attacks. I was having a lot of panic attacks myself in June, and because I do have anxiety, and this stone, whenever I have a panic attack, it's a palm stone, and I just kind of hold it in my hand and breathe with it, and it is also kind of it's a nice anchor to have stressful situation, a physical reminder. And it also, Lepidolite also reduces stress and negativities.
Wow.
All good energy cleansing things. And you'll find all the stones I recommend today are all upper chakra stones. So I don't have, they're all throat, third eye, and crown. And I think it's because so much of anxiety starts, for me at least, in the mind. And manifest physically. So if we can get to the root, help.
Yeah, exactly. I think that a lot of what anxiety does is just like create that worry, but that worry, comes up sometimes because we want to go in advance and, think about the future and what's going to happen in the future. And just like, trying to predict the future in a way when in fact we don't know, but that creates a fear, and that starts, like that just being inside of us, and that fear gives place to the anxiety and the panic attacks. So that's something that, the thoughts are something to be really aware of. And as you said, like having crystal like a lepidolite, and having that as an anchor is a great way, to have positive energy, to bring positive vibes, and also like as a soothing mechanism as well. Yeah.
Sometimes, notwithstanding the energy of any crystal, it's really just nice to have it as a physical reminder of those things that you're working towards, like breaking through behavioral patterns and old cycle blocks.
Yeah.
And they use them as a tool for healing and self-awareness. And that all brings me to my next, which is Chrysocolla. Very hard to spell. Just type it in Google and Google will autocorrect you. And it's for the throat chakra, and you can see it is this beautiful, beautiful aquamarine color, and it kind of looks like the Caribbean Ocean, like on a very beautiful day. And for self-awareness, because as you were saying, in order to break through those blocks and help be aware that we're thinking too much in the future and it's causing anxiety, we need self to be able to sort of and recenter ourselves and heal. And also, your clients' blockages were surrounding showing up, being who they really are, and like authentically sharing themselves, and being afraid to share themselves because your clients were worried that speaking up and being who they truly were would be met with like vitriol or a lack of acceptance, and they were afraid of that. And that's a totally thing. I mean, I felt that. And that's the great thing about Chrysocolla, is since it's connected to the throat chakra, it helps you speak your truth and be authentic and be who you truly are, like that fierce warrior, truth speaker energy. And you don't have to be like this outspoken political leader. You know, it can just be a matter of setting boundaries and saying no. That can be you speaking your truth.
Yeah. And I love what you said about, just speaking your truth, and also like sometimes it's so hard just to say no or create a boundary. And even just thinking about doing that, that can create a lot of anxiety for people. And, you know, especially people who tend to be people pleasers, or people who have been, you know, when they speak up, have encountered some negative reinforcement. So they need like a way to release that energy that's inside, to speak up and be able to stand up for themselves. And that is lovely, you know, what this crystal could do in that case, in those scenarios. Yeah.
I love those scenarios that you just gave. And I don't have these two crystals. I feel like what you're talking about with boundaries and like, I feel like a lot of people with anxiety are more natural empaths. And for me, great stones for protection, grounding, and boundary setting are hematite and smoky quartz. So those are great. Hematite and smoky quartz, two great stones to have and wear around your wrists or ankles if you want to set boundaries and protect your energy and just work on feeling safer in your container of being human. So then you can speak your truth a little more. And what's the next one? So selenite is the third one I have for y'all. And I see someone called Moonlight Marketing just joined, so it's funny that I have selenite, because selenite is named after the goddess of the moon, and with the crown chakra, and it's called this because Selene was the name of the goddess of the moon. Wow. And it's clear and white and beautiful like the moon, and it's aligned with the crown chakra, and it's super, super energy clearing. I literally like taking my selenite wand and going like this over my aura. It's called aura brushing, and I can feel it clearing my energy right now. It's a really fantastic way to just get energetic lint off of you. But a lot of what you were talking about with your clients and anxiety and cognitive behavioral therapy is, I know something that I've worked on with therapists in my life are things called ants, like automatic negative thoughts. Like, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Those pop up like so often. Yeah.
Yeah. You say to clients when automatic negative thoughts pop up for them.
Yeah. I think it's just in everyday situations, especially, you know, when they're faced with a challenge or when they're faced with uncertainty. I think, or just the opportunity to take different action that what they used to leave their comfort zone. I think those are when the negative thoughts start popping up. And most of the time, like what I've seen is that when those thoughts come, instead of just letting them pass, like the thoughts take control of the person and take control of basically which direction they're gonna go. So yeah, so they can be very powerful.
Yeah, and then it goes back to what we were talking about with breaking the negative cycles with this lepidolite, is if you get so stuck in the patterns of the negative thoughts and the repetitive automatic negative thoughts, like for me, a negative thought is like I'm too fat or I'm not enough. Then you think, oh, I'm too fat. Well, what's the point of taking care of my body anyway, kind of thing. And then you maybe make the wrong choice, like not loving your body or not taking care of your body. But if you're aware that there is a negative thought, then you can break it. So that is so important. And selenite, going back to how I was aura brushing before, selenite being connected to the crown chakra, which is on the top of your head, it helps clear negative thoughts from your mind. So you can literally just by holding it, you can feel the negative thoughts being pulled away from you. And I'm sure you could even just go like this and sort of, again, like an anchor, like visualize sweeping the negative thoughts away. And that may just be a nice visualization moment and physicalization help you feel more grounded and like the clarity of like, these negative thoughts are not me. I will not allow these negative thoughts to control me. And so then that helps break the negative cycles, bring in more positive thoughts, and also selenite is super, super crystal, and it really calms the mind and body, and it's very light filled, and it's on my favorite. So selenite is another recommendation. Ingrid, are there any? I have one crystal, amethyst, but that you have before I about that.
Yeah, I was wondering because I remember hearing somewhere that also with selenite is great, like you mentioned for cleansing, like it's great for like power for cleansing, but
Mm-hmm.
not only from our, you know, from our negative thoughts, but also it could be helpful to clean the other crystals if we have any others around. Is that something that I heard it somewhere, but I'm curious to know a little bit more about it.
Yeah, you're totally right. That's totally true in my personal experience. One thing you can do is like say, this is my Chrysocolla, which I talked about earlier, and this is a selenite. So you can literally order that, or you can go in a clockwise circle around and just like imagine it sort of in and that's clearing the energy in the crystal. And then the thing I'd recommend most is some people actually have a selenite plate.
Oh,
I met someone Etsy. I was thinking of getting one, but I have a huge selenite log, like a huge that I just put my crystals on to cleanse them. But it really it clears and really anxious or depressed. You dependent on a crystal like this, like a lepidolite, and you feel like it's on your energy so much that it's anymore. You can put crystals on a selenite log or a selenite plate, and it helps clear their energy and reset them so they can support you in the way they want to support you.
oh, perfect. And talking about a little bit more about the, yeah, like I imagine because anxiety, I think that it's such a powerful energy that is in the body. Like the fear can be so so powerful sometimes. And I'm wondering if it would be convenient, like every time you use the crystal, just to clean it before using it again.
I don't see why not. I mean,
Okay.
I personally do. What I do very frequently is I meditate with crystals a lot, and I like putting them on each of my chakra, like corresponding crystals to the chakras. And I'll do that for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then after I take all the crystals I used, and I put them in a little pile, and I do it. My favorite way of cleansing a crystal is a sound bath. So I have a sound bowl, and I will cleanse my crystals that way. You can also get some Epsom salt and put them in the Epsom salt. And so that's another very effective way to energy cleanse the crystal. Sometimes in the case of like clear quartz, you will literally see it becoming muddier and like you sometimes even see like streaks of black. But it's definitely been a thing that I and my friends have seen happen. And when you cleanse it, like if you put it in Epsom salt, it so that's a pretty amazing phenomenon. And Miri, my friend Miri, just asked
Yeah.
you to cleanse the selenite too. I would say yes. I mean, it tends to be a wicked high vibe stone anyway, but I personally cleanse my selenite, especially if I've just interacted with a very toxic person and I give myself an aura brushing and I can feel his energy is a little heavier. Another great stone, and this is the last stone I'll get to, is amethyst. And this is an amethyst druze, which means it's just connected to the bedrock. And so one great way to cleanse a selenite is you can crystal, and this is another way to cleanse crystals in general, is you can put on a bed of an amethyst and one thing with selenite is don't put it in water. So don't try to wash it or anything because it's very low, goes hard scale, and so it will, which means it will dissolve in water.
Yeah. Oh,
But you can, Mary, you can totally cleanse the selenite as well, and I would recommend it. Just like intuit when that is. Do you have any other questions, Ingrid, or anybody?
yeah, let's wait. If there's more questions, we will be happy to answer them.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. I think
Do you,
we're okay.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we're okay for now with the questions. Yeah.
Wonderful. Sorry, my internet was glitching. So this last one is amethyst, as I mentioned before, and as your lovely bracelet is, and that's a great
Yeah.
part. And that's and that, like, a bracelet is a really
Yeah.
great way to utilize crystals, like, especially if you're not a trained healer, you don't like know how to really sort of extra amplify their energy or utilize it for a specific chakra. Like, you don't have to get that technical. Like, I literally, even before I really knew what crystals did, this turquoise, I literally just wore a turquoise necklace all the time. So it's great to wear crystal jewelry, get a little clear quartz and put it in your pocket, put it in your purse. It's a great way to have their energies with you. And so that I'm so ADD. This amethyst is just amazing for anxiety. It's again, it has to do with the third eye, calms your energy, and it soothes the mind. And being amethyst is a quartz crystal, so super super powerful, and just having its energy calm your anxiety and soothe your mind. So I'd also say that this stone is a great one to have around, just to like even prevent extra stress and extra anxiety.
Oh, perfect. And I even like from amethyst, honestly, like even the color, like is so soothing. That purple, it's great. And I find it that you know, especially when the fear starts to come up, like the or the anxiety starts to bubble up, and I have an amethyst with me, it helps like cut that energy off. It's like cutting the energy that's in there that wants to come out. But by cutting it off, it creates like a moment for me to, you know, be more present and be able to relax and calm down and, you know, just let that fear go through and not focus or not get fixated on it.
So
Yeah.
so true. Yeah, and again, going back to like the automatic negative thoughts, which selenite can help with, like not allowing them to control you, or like you were saying, to fixate on them so much, but instead, okay,
Yeah.
this focusing too much on the future, this isn't really me. Let's get back to center
Yeah.
and really. So yeah, I just think crystals are also a great physical reminder of things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
especially I think that just knowing, like setting an intention for each one of the crystals, and by looking at the crystal, reminding yourself of that intention is just very powerful tool to carry around, and looking at it, having something physical to remind us, oh, this is my intention, then it can shift the mindset as well.
A
Yeah.
hundred, 110%. Our thoughts are so powerful, and just saying, I, I want to feel better. I am healthier.
Yeah.
I speak my truth. Those intentions go out into the world, and it can change an outcome of a situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And tell us a little bit. I know that we talk about like the crystal, like the four crystals,
Mm-hmm.
and just tell me a little bit more before we leave for today. What is a crystal therapy? Like, how could that help people that are going through the process of dealing with anxiety or panic attacks? Like from my end, it would be like the therapy, but the crystals could be like a very excellent complementary option for people as well to try.
Yes, 110%. And a lot of people who are working on healing themselves energetically love going to alternative healers to help supplement their work that they also are doing in therapy and other more traditional and like official forms of healing that I'm not a doctor. And crystal healing in and of itself is you're just like, it's basically a full body energy healing and chakra balancing. And I'm also a Reiki level 2 practitioner, so I use the crystals on their corresponding chakras, and then I also do Reiki on those chakras and your entire body, and you sort of go into like this altered relaxed state for about an hour. And I also personally intuit messages and take lots of notes and give people crystal recommendations and also meditations and they can do and actions they can take after the session to continue their own self-healing, because I want my clients to feel very empowered and strong and not like dependent on me as a healer or a practitioner, you know, like you were
Yeah.
saying, you want them to have their own tools. to move
Exactly.
to life. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't do in-person healings right now
Mm-hmm.
because of the current pandemic, but I do distance healings. So I've done quite a few of them since the lockdown started, and it is incredible how powerful it is even from a distance, because energy healing can transcend time and space. And you can see on my Instagram, if you tap the highlight distance healing, a quick video about like what exactly I do. But the basis of it is I use a chakra sheet, and I'm on Zoom with you, and then the chakra sheet is like a sort of surrogate for you in the room, and you feel all the energy as I'm working on you. So it's a really fantastic way to recenter and to chakra balance and to help on your own self-healing journey for sure.
Wow, that's amazing. And I always like to think that, the mind can travel to the past, present, and future, but the body always stays in the present. So there could be a lot of trauma, a lot of situations that are stuck in the body. And that could be, I think, a great way to release that energy, to release just, if there is pain, if there is hurt, if there is fear, that is stuck in different parts of our body, and if one of our chakras also is not working well, or it creates like that sensation of being stuck in a way in different areas of life. So I think that could be a great way to start working on that and start releasing that energy that could be stuck in the body.
It helps bring up trauma, not in like a negative way, like, oh no, I'm re-traumatized all again, but sometimes hiding things in your body that you don't want to think about anymore, so you just sort of put them away. And
Exactly.
what energy healing does is it helps unlock it and release it, so you can finally let it go and let it move through you. Like a lot of guilt and shame is held in the sacral chakra, and also a lot of fear is held in the heart space. So sometimes if you have like a lot of pain and you realize it, you unlock your heart chakra, then you can allow that fear to move through you and release it. So a lot of times during sessions, like there's stuff will happen, like people will have a memory from when they were 7 that they haven't thought about in years, but then they realize that that memory was the root of this certain fear that they have, and then they're able to acknowledge it and move through it a little more. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Just like releasing the energy. And I was telling you about that experience that I've been through, through the crystal healing process, like as a client.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so amazing, like the amount of, relaxation, the amount of calm, and just like being able to unlock different chakras was very powerful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember you saying something, and you don't have to share this now if you
No,
don't want to.
no, go for it.
Nose was running or something.
Yeah, like the first time I went, it was my first time doing the crystal therapy, the crystal healing therapy, and I remember that I was so relaxed during the process. Like, I even like I think I fell asleep for a little bit. I was like in such a deep state of relaxation. But the interesting thing is that when it ended, I started having like a runny nose, so there was water coming out from my nose, like without any apparent reason. And I totally believe that was some energy that was being just, moved and
Mhm.
wanted to get out. And that was the way it was coming out of me. Yeah.
Like an energetic drainage. That's so amazing.
Exactly. It's powerful. And that's the, like, when I do that, it's the only way, it's the only times that I experience that I experience that energy just, getting out and not having to carry it around like such a heavy weight sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
So true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone is interested in having a crystal healing session or a Reiki session, you can use code Crystal Love. That's Crystal Love, and get $15 off one session. So feel free to my Instagram or to aldengagnon.com and check that out. And thank you so much, Ingrid, for giving me this platform to discuss with you. It was truly lovely.
Yeah, I really enjoy. I think it was super informative. Like I'm really thinking about all the crystals, and I want to learn more and more. It was so like powerful to get to know that. And also have it as a tool to work with, like as a complementary tool to work around fears, anxiety, limitations, and just get that energy moving. Yeah, so I want to thank you so much for giving us the time with you. And it's been lovely to meet you. And I really hope that we can do it again.
Such a beautiful soul. It's truly an honor. And I'll just show everyone the three crystals again. It was, or the four crystals. It was Lepidolite, Chrysocolla, Selenite, and Amethyst. And thank you so much for listening. And Ingrid, thank you so much for your amazing energy and your time and all the work you do to help your clients is truly amazing. They're lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I hope to have you again soon and discuss further like more subject that could be of interest, to people in general. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.